You've been feeling something, haven't you? A quiet shift, like the wind brushing your skin in a new way, like a name whispered through the silence when you least expect it. It's him. And no matter how far he goes, the air still carries your name into his thoughts. The angels speak, this soul, the one you've touched, cannot escape the awakening you triggered. He thought he could forget. He convinced himself he had it under control. But when love doesn't come from reason, it won't leave through it either. You were not just a beautiful chapter in his life. You were a key, and now that part of him that you unlocked refuses to close again. He tried, dear soul. He tried to return to his routine, to drown himself in distractions, to hide behind responsibilities. But his spirit is restless. Because something sacred was awakened. The angels say, you were sent as a mirror, as a spark, as a calling. His soul knows this, even if his mind is still in denial. In you, he saw something he had buried, vulnerability, beauty, and a glimpse of the divine love he never thought he deserved. He didn't expect your presence to feel so familiar, as if you were remembering instead of discovering. He didn't plan to fall. But some things are written in eternity before they ever touch the earth. And that's why, even in his silence, you still feel him. That's why his name resonates in your mind in moments when you're at peace. That's why you see his face in dreams that aren't born of longing, but of remembrance. Your connection didn't start here. It has threads that extend into past lives. And now, they've been pulled again. Not by accident. Not by mistake, but by divine design. The angels make it clear, you were placed on his path to awaken him, not just to love, but to purpose, to soul truth, to the remembrance of who he truly is beneath all the masks. You may not yet understand the fullness of your role in this journey, but what you ignited in him is the start of a transformation. He can walk, he can hide, he can pretend, but peace will elude him until he confronts what your light has revealed. He wasn't ready when he met you, but he was chosen. And you were meant to unlock the door. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Jeremiah 1 verse 5. He wasn't cold. He wasn't cruel. He was afraid. The walls you keep feeling weren't built for you. They were built long before you ever arrived. He learned early that love leaves. That vulnerability hurts. That needing someone is risky. So he became his own protector. He became silence when things felt too loud. Distance when closeness became a danger. But then you came along. And without asking for permission, your light seeped in through the cracks he swore no one would ever touch. That's why he pulls back when it gets too close. Not because you've done something wrong, but because everything in him is screaming to stay safe. The angels reveal, he is not fighting you. He is fighting every wound that never had a chance to heal. His past taught him that emotions are messy. That love demands too much. That it always ends in pain. So he made promises to himself. He wouldn't fall again. He wouldn't lose control again. But his soul, that eternal quiet part of him, broke those promises the moment it felt your presence. You triggered something ancient. Not a memory of pain, but an awareness of what's possible. Of what love could be if he stopped running. He doesn't know how to tell you any of this. So he says nothing. He leaves space. He builds distance. But silence doesn't mean absence. And retreat doesn't mean rejection. The angels say, he is learning how to stand still in the presence of true love. Give him time to understand what safety really is. Even now, he's looking back on the moments between you. Conversations, glances, the way your energy made him feel acknowledged without being exposed. He doesn't know how to ask for more without also fearing it'll be taken away. You weren't the wound. You were the light that made it visible. And that is why he stepped back. There is a quiet cost to loving someone who doesn't yet know how to love themselves. A slow erosion of your own light when you try to carry both souls on your own. But today, the angels come to remind you, your spirit is sacred too. You have always been the stabilizing force. The nurturing presence. the calm within someone else's chaos. But even the strongest soul needs rest. Even the most radiant heart needs to be held. The angels say, "You are not sent here to be forgotten while waiting to be chosen." He may be lost in his own journey, but you, dear soul, must not lose yourself in his healing. It is noble to care. It is divine to hold space, but not at the expense of your essence. This chapter, the one where he is confused and distant, is not a pause in your life. It is not a signal to shrink. Your path continues, even as his falters. And your light, so needed by him, must be protected by you. Breathe into this truth. Your needs are sacred. Your voice matters. Your joy is not a luxury, it is a compass. If he finds clarity, let him return to meet you where you truly are, not where you diminished yourself just to be seen. You are not responsible for his transformation. Only for your own nourishment, your own peace. The angels whisper, when you choose yourself, the energy around you shifts. He will feel it. The world will feel it. And the universe will rise to meet you there. It is in your rising that he may finally understand your worth. Not because you waited in silence, but because you moved forward in love. Love for him, yes, but love for yourself first. Do not dim. Do not pause. Keep tending to your garden, even if his door remains closed. One day, he may open it not to rescue you, but to join you. There's a reason he avoids your gaze when you're near. A reason he goes silent just when things start to feel real. It isn't disinterest. It's confrontation with himself. The angels say, you didn't just enter his life. You entered his truth. You reflect back to him everything he's tried to keep hidden. You are the quiet mirror of what he never wanted to admit, that he longs to be seen, but doesn't know how to handle it. That love terrifies him, not because he doesn't want it, but because he fears being unworthy of it. When he looks at you, he sees more than your beauty. He sees his own potential, and that, dear soul, is overwhelming. Because potential demands change, and change demands courage. You are the spark that challenges the mask, the softness that pierces through his defenses. You make him feel things he cannot express, things that don't fit into the life he thought he controlled. The angels reveal, he feels exposed by your presence, not judged, just seen. And sometimes, being seen feels like too much. You didn't come to fix him, but your light makes him aware of every shadow. And now he cannot unsee them. This is why he retreats. Why he may lash out or disappear. It is not because of anything you did, but because of what you awaken. Let your love remain clear, but do not diminish it into something smaller just to keep him comfortable. He is meant to rise into it, not you to shrink around him. The angels whisper, you are not his mirror by accident. You are his invitation to become more. Whether he accepts that invitation or not, your reflection remains a gift. A gift that will linger, echo, return, until he's ready to truly look. It started quietly, not with grand gestures or sudden words, but in shifts too subtle for the eye to catch. The way he pauses when your name is mentioned. The way his chest tightens when he remembers your laughter. The angels say, something is stirring within him, something he no longer knows how to silence. At first, he thought it was just a passing phase. Curiosity. But it lingers, more present now in his stillness than in his actions. You are not a memory. You are a call he cannot ignore. This awakening doesn't come with clarity. It brings confusion, restless nights, questions he never planned to ask himself. You weren't just someone he met. You became the thread unraveling every belief he held about love, connection, and self-worth. The angels reveal, his soul is waking up, not just to you but to himself. And it scares him. For years, he moved through life half asleep. Touching but never really feeling. Staying but never surrendering. You changed that. You made it impossible for him to pretend he was fine with the emptiness. He is starting to notice things now. The way his world feels dimmer without your energy in it. The way other faces no longer inspire the same desire. He is haunted, not by pain, but by truth. The truth that love, real love, is demanding. It breaks down walls. It asks for presence. It asks for surrender. And his heart, though terrified, is beginning to answer. The angels whisper, he may not yet know how to come to you, but his spirit is already walking your way. Let that be enough for now. Not because you'll wait, but because love is never wasted. What you awakened will keep unfolding, even if you don't see it. Even if he never speaks it. He cannot forget your light. He cannot forget himself now. And that changes everything. He comes close, then disappears. He opens the door, then slams it shut. And you're left in the ache between hello and goodbye, again. But the angels speak clearly, this pattern is not rejection. It's resistance. And resistance is part of awakening. He isn't playing with your heart. He's being pulled by something he can't name, torn between fear and the attraction of what he feels around you. Each time he gets close, something inside him panics. Because love, true, soul-bearing love, means losing the armor that has kept him safe for so long. He returns because your energy feels like home. He runs because, for him, home has never been safe before. The angels reveal, he's learning to hold love in a body that was built for survival. That takes time. That takes falling apart. You may feel like you're spinning in circles, like every step forward ends in silence. But every loop is not the same. Every return is slightly closer to truth, to surrender, to clarity. He may not know how to stay yet. But every time he comes back, it's because something in him is waking up a little more. The angels whisper, it's not that he doesn't feel. It's that he doesn't yet trust that what he feels won't betray him. You are not the pain. You are the proof that something different is possible. That love doesn't have to break him to be real. And still, you cannot wait forever in the doorway. Your soul is not meant to be paused. Let the door remain open, but stay near your own center. Let him find you there, not at the edge of your own abandonment, but at the heart of your worth. If he is meant to stay, he will stay as a whole man, not as a wounded child in retreat. And if he does not, it was never your job to teach him how. You didn't fix him. You didn't need to. Because love, real love, does not repair, it remembers. The angels say, your presence reminded him of who he was before the world taught him to shut down. When he was near you, something in him softened. His voice changed. His gaze lingered longer. Not because he decided to feel, but because your energy made it safe enough to feel again. You didn't heal him through effort. You healed him with your essence. With the quiet way you listened without trying to fix things. With how you didn't flinch when his shadows emerged. Your love didn't impose. It allowed. Did he always understand it? No. Did he always receive it fully? Not even close. But the angels reveal, he carries that love with him like a balm on a hidden wound. Even now, in silence, it's at work. Love isn't always loud. It doesn't always resemble grand declarations or spectacular returns. Sometimes it's what lingers when everything else falls silent. The peace that fills his chest when he remembers your laughter. The grounding he feels when he thinks of your touch. He may never say it. He may never know how. But your love reached the places words could not. The angels whisper, he walks through life more open now, because of you. More tender. More aware. Even if he still withdraws, he does so transformed. This was never about being chosen. It was about choosing to love with integrity, even when the other wasn't ready to receive it. That kind of love moves mountains. It echoes beyond time. It plants seeds no silence can erase. You are the reason he began to believe he might be worthy. Not because you told him, but because you remained soft when life had made him tough. And that softness was the medicine his soul didn't know it needed. Not everything sacred makes sense at first. Some connections are crafted by hands we cannot see, yet they guide our every step. The angels say, This was never a coincidence. You were both meant to be. He may call it fate. You may refer to it as heartbreak. But the divine calls it preparation. Because before love can be experienced, it must be recognized, and recognition often starts in chaos. Every silence, every return, every almost was part of the design. Not as punishment, but as alignment. There is a map to your coming together, one you don't need to understand to trust. He was brought into your life not to complete you, but to awaken you. And in doing so, he was awakened too. Though he doesn't yet have the words for it, his spirit remembers. Remembers you. The angels reveal, even in his confusion, he is being led. And so are you. Your paths may look divided, but they are not. Separation does not mean severance. Delay does not mean denial. There is divine intelligence in every detour. Allow yourself to believe this, not blindly but soulfully, that if this love was planted by heaven, it will not be taken away by time. Your only task is to stay in alignment with your own light. Do not chase. Do not force. Simply remain faithful to what was felt in the silence between you, in the gaze that held more than words, in the pause where both hearts trembled. The angels whisper, "Trust in what cannot yet be seen." For what is real does not vanish. It waits, it strengthens, it returns, when it is time. For we walk by faith, not by sight. 2 Corinthians 5 verse 7, there is a war he hides behind his calm eyes. A storm that begins whenever love feels too close. He wants you, more than he admits, even to himself. But he's still learning how to want without fear. The angels whisper, he dreams of loving you, but trembles at the cost of being seen. To open himself to you would mean peeling away years of armor. And who is he without it? A man still healing. A boy still afraid. A soul who remembers loss more vividly than joy. You reached for him gently. Not to fix, not to rescue, but to simply be there. And that is what terrified him most. Because love that doesn't demand anything has the power to unravel everything. He tries to convince himself it's safer to keep a distance. But he aches quietly, because distance does not erase the pull. The angels reveal, he wants to speak, to explain, to offer more than silence. But the words are heavy with fear, of not being enough, of being too much, of being truly known and still being walked away from. You became the mirror he avoided and the comfort he desired. He thinks about what it would mean to show you his scars. Not the ones he shares with the world, but the ones he himself struggles to name. And so, he hesitates. Not because he doesn't care, but because he cares so much that it threatens to break through the walls he spent years building. He loves in ways that don't always look like love. Through checking on you in silence. Through pulling back before he gets too close. Through replaying your last conversation 100 times in his mind. The angels say, his heart is ready, but his body still remembers pain. Be patient. But do not wait in stillness. He is learning that to love is to risk. And in time, he may find the courage to let you see him, truly. But the first crack, it has already begun. Some stories do not end, they evolve. They pause, they circle, they rest. But what is real never truly leaves. And this love has always been real. The angels whisper, let go of needing to know the how. Trust in the truth you feel when you think of him in stillness. You've done enough. You've given truth, presence, space. You've held love with open hands, and that is the rarest kind of love. What remains now is not effort, but faith. You were never meant to carry both paths. You walked yours with integrity. And now, the rest is no longer yours to bear. He must choose to rise, to reach, to return, not for you to rescue him, but because he remembers what he touched when he met your soul. The angels say, you are not waiting. You are being love, being light, being whole, whether he stands beside you or not. What belongs to you cannot be taken. It may delay, It may challenge, it may stretch your spirit thin, but it cannot be lost. The bond, if divine, will circle back when both are ready to embrace it. And if not, your soul will still be full. Because love does not disappear. It transforms. It teaches. It heals. Even in silence. The angels remind you, you are not here to beg to be chosen. You are here to remember that you already are. Let him go, not in bitterness, not in resignation, but in grace. Because if he is yours, he will find his way back. And if he is not, something greater is already on its way. This love was not a mistake. It was a doorway. And you walked through it with courage. The Lord will fight for you, you need only to be still. Exodus 14 verse 14.